Hi, my name is Dan Chelin, and I am the owner of 2040 Emerald Crescent, and have just sold the home and am looking forward to my next venture. Backstory, owned this house for 13 years. Unfortunately, my wife passed away in end of February 2019. Thought about it for quite a while and then decided this past year to facilitate the change, move up to Collingwood where I have another home. Ultimately, the decision to go with Rocky was twofold. One, because Rocky and Dee work as a team. Utilizing Dee's skills was the fact that she does the staging, she incorporates a lot of her knowledge into any renovations that we ultimately did end up doing here, and they work well together. The incentives that were part of the sale, such as moving expense and also a rebate going forward for the next home. There was also other additional incentives that were incorporated that made it a very opportunistic situation for both Rocky and Dee and for myself. Working with Rocky and Dee was very smooth. They're an easy team to work with. One is doing one end while the other is working on the other end, and they don't overlap. The house is a 1938 heritage home. With that comes the heritage plaque, but also means that any exterior work has to be approved by the city. That's part of the criterion that makes it a Heritage Act home. In concert with that, we've got a vast garden in this area that needs maintenance. So you needed to find a client that would appreciate the architecture, appreciate the gardens. We've got a koi pond that has 80 fish in it. All of these things made it a unique property. And for the right person, it's amazing, but it had to be that right person. From the promotional aspect of the home, did a very good job of highlighting the architecture of the home, highlighting the gardens, the pond, and utilizing those particular points as positives rather than as negatives. I would have to say that the biggest asset for me in having Dee as part of the team was that Dee made all of the transition of making it from a home that I was living in to a house that is able to sell. She was able to pick paint. She was able to help me with the reno of the kitchen. She did all of the aesthetic touches that made the house saleable. Greatest strength that Rocky and Dee had for me was the fact that they were hands-on, which meant I didn't have to be the contractor on this development. I was able to give my opinion, of course, it's my home, but they were able to utilize their experience and knowledge, put it together, and make it easier for me not to have to make all the decisions that would culminate in the sale of the home.